Take me away, jump in the car, drive till the gas runs out and gone so far we can't see this place anymore. Take a day off, give it a rest, so I can forget about this mess. If I lighten up a little bit, I will be over it. Okay. Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to talk about Stuck in the Suburbs. Stuck in the Suburbs is a 2004 Disney Channel original movie. It's directed by Savage Steve Holland. Cinematography by Christopher Faloona. Editing, it sounds fake, editing by Cindy Parisotto. Music by David Catay and Jeff Vincent. And it's written by Wendy Engelberg, Amy Engelberg, and Dan Berendsen. The film stars Danielle Panabaker as Brittany, Brenda Song as Natasha, and Taran Killam as Jordan. This was filmed all over the greater New Orleans area, which is very surprising actually. I was kind of excited. The music in this movie goes off kind of, okay? Jordan's songs are pretty good. All I can picture in my head is the the make go. I don't know how it goes because I didn't have the soundtrack to this movie, so I don't know the songs. But I have seen this movie, so the songs like immediately came back to me, and I was like, oh yeah. The only song I know that I sang at the beginning is "Over It," which is in the credits. That I had on some random Disney CD. It's Annalise Vanderpool, which was Chelsea and Raven singing it, and it's a bop, and I love that song. But I definitely want to download the songs from this movie because they were good. Also, if it was Taran Killam singing, good job. Also, the actual score, especially right in the beginning after they have the opening song that's his, and it goes to just like the actual score when they're driving down the road seeing all the identical houses, like the suburbia was so good and so comical, so I loved that as well, musically speaking. I have kind of a bone to pick with the writers because Brittany could have like learned such an amazing lesson, and I feel like they like half did it. Because Brittany is the middle child of her family. She feels very ordinary, feels very unimportant. She wants to be really unique. She wants to be one of a kind. And just feels like she's lacking in her suburbia life. Like she just is one of many, you know, and she wants to feel special. And when Natasha shows up, she thinks Natasha's like traveled the world and has like living her dream life. So she tries to start being like Natasha, which is, you know, ironic considering she wants to be one of a kind, but then she's immediately like starting to be like Natasha and immediately starts like mistreating her best friends and like doesn't even try to include them with Natasha. It's very weird. But then the first opportunity she's given to take full credit for something and totally exclude Natasha, she does that as well. So she mistreats her friends and then she mistreats Natasha, and it's like a whole thing that I'm like, yo, Brittany, you kind of suck. And then she kind of learns, but like not really. Natasha's also not great. Like she's very mean about a lot of stuff and kind of like putting down like Brittany's life in suburbia, and also like lies about her past. She's very like Lola from Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. She like lies about like her parents being divorced and lies about living in Europe and what her dad does for a living and blah, 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 blah. And they find that out about each other and they fight, and then like 2 seconds later they apologize, which I liked that there wasn't like some stupid thing like at the end of Cheetah Girls where they all come back together because of the dog falling in the well. But like, I feel like, you know, that was more believable that they just felt bad and wanted to say sorry because they're friends. But I feel like there wasn't anything that like made Brittany learn that. I don't know. It just felt a little lacking. I did really like Jordan's character. I thought he had a very sweet little plot. It could have been way more. I think coming back to Quince, like I mentioned in the last video, I feel like Brittany could have really had a Quince moment. Her family forgot her at home. She talks about how it's not the first time her family's forgotten her at home. She talks about like so desperately wanting to stand out, blah, 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 blah. And she could have, like, we really could have seen that manifest more, and they didn't really explore that. It was more just like, oh, I feel bad about taking advantage of Jordan, but like, let's make his life better. It was very, I don't know. It was cute and it was fun, but I don't know, I feel like it focused on some of the wrong stuff at the wrong time. So Taran Killam, I have always known him as being from this movie. I saw this movie one time, I think, when it aired. And from what I remember, I've always just known him as the guy from Stuck in the Suburbs. Like, I've never, which is hysterical, because he has been a extremely long-lasting Saturday Night Live cast member so easily. Like, anyone else in the world sees Taran Killam and they go, oh, the guy from SNL. Like, 100% he's the dude from SNL. Like, that's what his career defining. He has been on SNL forever. But I remember when he debuted on SNL. And I was like, hey, it's the guy from Stuck in the Suburbs. So, love him. I think he'll always be the guy from Stuck in the Suburbs for me, though. And he does such a good job. He's so sweet. It's very fun to see him in, like, a teen heartthrob role, because I feel like everything he has done since, he was not, like, the good-looking teen heartthrob. So it was fun to, like, look at him in Stuck in the Suburbs and be like, oh, he's cute and he's talented. It's so fun. His long hair, hilarious. So amazing. Brittany's shoes at the beginning, when they're all like, oh my god, they're so cute. And she's like, they're one of a kind. My aunt got them for me. They're hideous. They are ugly. Not my cup of tea, at least. Someone else, fine. They are very early 2000s, though, so I guess I'll give that to them. But, oof, they were so bad. And then the water splash in the fountain before High School Musical ever came out. Stuck in the Suburbs did it first. Then, speaking of High School Musical, Drew Seeley is in this movie. He's the dude at the front desk of the hotel. For those who don't know, Drew Seeley's voice was mixed with Zac Efron's in the first High School Musical, which is why that movie's music doesn't sound like Zac Efron, but the other two very much sound like Zac Efron. Drew Seeley, and then, like, I think he was, like, up for the role of Troy. I don't remember. And he, like, maybe they thought he looked a little too old or something, because he looks older teen in this, which is a few years before. And then he goes on to be in, like, another Cinderella story, and now he does a bunch of Hallmark movies and stuff like that. He's very, and he did do Troy's part in the High School Musical, like, tour concert. He did do Troy's part, so, he had a big to-do with High School Musical, but it's hysterical to me that he's in this as some random front desk hotel man. That made me laugh a lot. Then, the amount of, like, flashbacks for Brittany and Natasha's friendship, and I'm like, it's been, like, a week? Like, it hasn't been that long, is very sweet, and the more they did it, the more I was like, yo, are we supposed to be shipping them? Like, are they supposed to be in love? Because I can go that route. With how many, like, flashbacks of, like, look at their friendship and look at how much they love each other in just a short time and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I mean, all right. You're making me ship it. Like, cool. Sounds good to me. Like, it just was so random. Like, for me, there was no reason for these, like, flashback montages other than they're in love. So I'm like, okay. They're in love. I love that. And then the other thing that really frustrated me, this is so random, but there's a scene where, like, they get the word out about Jordan's new lyrics or whatever, and it, like, does the stacking, it's like the square, like Brady Bunch, where it does the squares or whatever. It's like the same 4 girls stacked and 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 stacked, and that was really annoying. I was like, if you're gonna do something like this, film more than 4 girls. Like, what are you doing? Like, please film at least 20, so then when you get that far out, you don't realize that you're stacking the same 20 then. Like, it was just, that was bad. Otherwise, this was very fun. It was cute. I think it's pretty superficial, like, and by superficial I don't mean, like, shallow or that it's bad. I just mean, like, they could have definitely dove deeper into some of the characters, and they didn't, and I kind of wish they did, but it was still entertaining. Music went off. Taran was great. Danielle Panabaker was great. Brenda's song was great, obviously. So, it was fun. That's everything I have for Stuck in the Suburbs. My final rating is 6 cell phones out of 10. Our total movie count is... Parisotto and Cry Count are still the same. If you want to keep up with the movie watching when, follow me on Instagram or Twitter. You'll find out what movie I'm watching when. I put out videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon. I have a tier starting at just $1, where you get every video a week early and a coupon code for merch. Be sure to buy merch, because merch is awesome. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe, but I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so you do, and don't be the producer, director, music video guy about it. He looks suspiciously like Dave Matthews, but not Dave Matthews. What do I know him from? That's gonna drive me a little crazy, I think. Maybe this. Maybe it's this I know him from.